Let's jump into problem 15.5a, a liquidating dividend. What's a liquidating dividend? It's when the company pays a dividend or declares a dividend that's more than they have in retained earnings. And that's what's going to happen here. We have $40,000 in retained earnings. We're going to declare a dividend that's more than $40,000. Why might that happen? The company could be wrapping up business and they're just like, okay, time to return all the money to our shareholders and be done with this business. And so we're paying dividends more than what we have in our retained earnings account. It's unusual, but it happens. So here's how we account for it. We just say, okay, we're going to pay a dividend more than 40 grand. Normally dividends reduce retained earnings, but we can't reduce them below zero. We got to reduce this shareholders' equity in some way. So we just start reducing the other equity accounts, whether it be common shares or additional paid in capital or contributed surplus. We're just bringing our equity accounts down to zero. Zenith Corporation's December 31st balance sheet shows the following items in the equity section. They got common shares of 1.5 million, no par shares here, and retained earnings of 40,000. They declare a $1.20 per share cash dividend. So that's $120,000, right? That times 1.2 is $120,000 cash dividend. Payable on January 20th to shareholders record of Jan 10th. So Jan 3rd, we're going to declare a dividend, and Jan 10th, we're going to pay it. So first of all, we're promising to pay $120,000. This is a dividend payable, $120,000. Now, normally we would just debit dividends or debit retained earnings. Here, we're going to, for the full amount. Here, we're going to debit dividends or retained earnings for the amount of the retained earnings. That's the max you can put in the account, $40,000. So what of the other $80,000? It's got to reduce their shareholders' equity, right? We're paying out, the dividends come out of shareholders' equity, and the only other account they hit here is common shares in this case. And the common shares are $80,000. On January 10th, we pay the dividend, so just credit cash, debit divs payable, and we're done. 120. Okay, so that's it for part one. Part two, exact same question, but now we have a par value of $5. How do we deal with it? It's all very logical. So on January 3rd, we do want to declare that dividend, so we're going to have divs payable of 120. We debit, well, we have $40,000 in retained earnings to pay, so we're going to debit dividends or retained earnings. Again, do whatever it does in your textbook for 40, and we're off by 80, but this time it all comes, we don't have to do some proportional thing. It all comes out of additional paid in capital, right? It just comes out of there. We want to keep our common shares at par value, and so it's just going to come out of additional paid in capital, $80,000. So additional paid in capital for my American cousins, and again, for my Canadian brothers and sisters, it is contributed surplus that you'll be hitting there. And then when we pay the dividend, January 10th, we're going to credit cash for 120, and we're going to debit dividends payable 120. And at that point, we've done it. We've solved 15.5a. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, before you go, though, hit one of those buttons. Bye. The next video in our series is right up here, and if you want a supercut of all of the videos in this series, that's the one down below.